The dream started out with me in a field somewhere out in the country. And my cousin was with me. And we were looking up into the sky. And we noticed that there were 2 moons in the sky. And right after that, it was 2 suns. And then right after that, it was a row of 5 stars. The 2 moons, it looked like this picture. They were right beside each other. And then right to the right of the last moon was 2 suns. I don't know if you can see that, but that's one and then that's another. They were all the same size. We were watching, and the second moon moved in front of the first sun, and it became red, like blood. And that is when I noticed to the right of the last sun, there was a row of 5 stars. I couldn't find a picture that shows, the stars in a row, but they were big like this, but they were all in a row. At that point, the moons and the suns started to disappear, but the stars stayed there. And I tried to take a picture of it, so I got out my phone, and I was aiming, and I could not find the stars anywhere. And when I was looking through my phone, they were not visible. Only when I looked with my naked eye. And
it was about, you guessed it, 2 suns. I just saw these 2 suns look sort of similar to this. Basically, we had our real sun, which is the one in front, and the one in behind it kept coming out from behind it and going, it was really weird. It was just coming out, being very, very visible, and then it would go almost through our sun. And our sun in the dream kept feeling like it was about to explode. Another thing about the dream is I knew that I was in New York City in the dream, because I kept saying, what am I doing in New York? This isn't a dream. And I opened my front door and I look outside in the dream and it was New York. So
there's something really weird about the sky. Right in front of me, there was a purple moon, and to the side, there was a blue moon, and in the middle, there was a sun. So
tens of thousands of years after the Vimana age, as legend has it, Khufu had a dream of the stars spinning and falling to earth. This was interpreted by the experts as a sign of disaster to come in Egypt's future and the end of the civilization represented by the holders of the knowledge of the days before the Great Pyramid. It was decided to build the Great Pyramid, which would preserve all the science, astronomy, and knowledge of the world.
I had a dream. The Lord gave me a dream. And the dream was very simple. It was nothing complicated, and it was just basically me going outside, and the stars were falling from the sky. And he pointed me to the scripture, which is in what I'm going to read in a minute. But more or less, just
to December. It was not December though. Anyway, I had a dream in which I was outside in my old high school where I used to study at in Puerto Rico, which is Academia Discípulos de Cristo, or Disciples of Christ Academy. It's a private school. And for some reason I'm there. I don't know why, because I'm an adult already. And in my dream I was asking myself the same question: what am I doing here if I don't study here anymore? So anyway, I was there, and the day seemed kind of cloudy and like it just, rained, because I could see puddles and stuff. And I was in the patio of the school, and other students were outside, in the patio. And all of a sudden, a rain, quote unquote, rain of these white stones were falling off the sky, and the white stones were set on fire. The thing is that I'm walking and I see people running everywhere like crazy. They were trying to find refuge wherever they could find it. And I look up at the sky and, to have a better look at the stones. The stones, some of them were big like rocks. Some of them were not that big like stones. It came in all different shapes and forms and sizes. And the stones were white and underneath or in some parts had like yellow circles, and they were on fire, and they were raining upon us, on us. And for some reason, I was walking normally. I was not running. I was walking, trying to find refuge, but not scared at all. And it seemed like for some unknown reason, I did not try hard to find refuge, but none of those stones fell on me. So I get underneath this roof in one of the buildings at the school, and I keep looking at the rocks and stones falling off the sky. And then I can't remember very well with details, but I think that the rain of stones stopped because it was raining those stones, and the stones were on fire, like I said. And the rain stopped, and the school principal and other students said, well, thank God there are no damages or whatever. Let's just make a circle and pray and ask God, thank God for, for protecting us, for keeping.
It was one of the most realistic dreams of my life. I was outside on the porch of a wooden house, and I remember someone yelling, "They're here." And it was like in the movies, fireballs flying from the sky and barely missing me. Who knows what it means, but it scared that's a naughty word there, out of me. And maybe the world was coming to an end. So, in a little bit more detail, I had stepped out on the porch of a cabin type house, and I looked up to the sky, and the sky was blue. It was beautiful. The clouds are out, the sun was out, and I literally thought to myself in this dream, such a beautiful day. Excuse me, I have a slight cold. And then out of nowhere, the sky just turns black, and then I'm surrounded by many people, and I just remember someone yelling, "They're here." I didn't see anyone, I didn't see anything, I just remember that person yelling that. And then I looked up at the sky, and fireballs started falling from the sky, and I just started running. Everyone started running, and these fireballs were in front of me, behind me, beside me, but I never got hit with none of them. Each time, it missed me. And the whole time while this is going on, I'm just thinking, where are my kids? And
with my family standing at our porch, and we were looking at the sky, and as we look at the sky, we were actually staring at the sun which is so bright in the sky. It's actually a very short dream. Okay, so we were standing at the porch, we were all looking at the sky, and we were looking at the sun is there, then suddenly it just fell straight down. The sun just fell straight down, and it's so weird that immediately I knew something is going to happen. I said, something's wrong, and I said, this is it. Something's going to happen. And then I looked up again, and as I looked, where the place, where the area where the sun was, I saw the moon there, but the moon has no brilliance. It's like you can only see the shape of the moon. It's like very dull. It's not even like having any light. So it's very, very, it's like a drawing there only of a moon. So a very short dream.
And my dad kept interrupting the service, and my pastor, he kept rebuking and binding the spirit of interruption, and God just spoke to us with a loud voice, all of us, and he told us to run outside and look at the sky. And we all look at the sky, and we're all separated in groups, and we're just looking at stuff that's in the sky. And the stuff that was in the sky was actually, it was stars in the sky. They were humongous stars. We're talking, from far distance, I saw them like this big. Like that big, and they were really bright. They were like little baseballs and stuff, like the size like that, like the size of a tennis ball. I saw them from far distance, so that means that if I went up to them, they would be bigger. But Yeah, and then they were just like, there was one in the middle, and then there was like 6 all around the one in the middle, and then they were just falling massively. That's so funny because in the Bible, in the 6th seal, it says cosmic disturbances, and and it talks about the moon turning black, which the solar eclipse already happened, and then the blood moon ends today. And it says after the blood moon that the stars from heaven shall fall. And God was talking to me, and He said, "What number is June?" And I said 6, and He's like, "There we go. That's all you need to know." And then He just didn't talk after that. And I was like, that's weird. The 6th seal, and then the number June 6, and then if you look at the title, the title for that specific for the specific verses, it says cosmic disturbances. Now, cosmic disturbances means stuff in the galaxy, of course. That's so funny because all of this stuff has been happening around June. Same thing how we're in June and the blood moon's happening, and after that, my whole church, like, just left the house happy, saying Jesus is coming. And then after that, I saw a TV just turned on, and I saw a crow singing a song. Uh-oh, what are you waiting for? That song I've heard before. I think it's by that group Neon Trees, Animal. Now, I don't like that song, but I read the lyrics, and it's talking about cannibals eating each other. If you look at the lyrics clearly, it talks about the main character being afraid by getting eaten by cannibals. That's so weird because there was a cannibal like last week, and I don't know, man, just Jesus is coming, get prepared. The dream must mean a lot. I just saw the stars from heaven, from the firmament, falling down a lot everywhere.